In today's video, as you can see from the screen behind me, I'm going to be talking about what it's been like to have worn this watch over the past 30 days. The reason why I like to do these sort of videos is that A, it allows me to get watches out of my watch box that I don't normally wear on a daily basis, and secondly, it gives me a really good overall opinion about what these watches have been like to wear. Now, in this instance, what I'm going to do is talk about the comfort. I'm going to talk about how it was like to get on with the sort of design of the watch. And then I'm going to talk about just a few of the features, the functions, and then I'll give you my overall impressions. And then what I'm going to do is end the video with a viewer comment, because I do like to put out to the community the week before I film these videos to ask if there's any questions that people may have. And I do have one person who's asked a question, and I'm going to answer that towards the end of the video. So first of all, let's talk about comfort. So comfort wise, I've got to say this has been a super comfortable watch to wear. I've had no problems in terms of hand inhibition. I've had no problems at all in finding the right adjustment for my 6.5 inch wrist. It has just gone on perfectly. It really has. It's not been too tight or too loose. It's just been ideal for my wrist. And I've got to say it has been a fantastic watch to wear. It's not too heavy at 40 grams as well. So it does kind of melt away in your wrist and you do forget you're wearing it. And especially with the profile as well. As we're getting into the more colder months, I do tend like to wear hoodies, as you can probably tell, and these just slip over this watch no problem at all. And it really has been a fantastic watch to wear on a daily basis over the last 30 days in September. Right, let's just talk about the overall design of this watch. I've got to say, I think this is a very good looking watch overall. It's like like a watch of contrast, I think I said in my original review, and I will stick with that. I think the metal part of the case contrasts well with all the resin, and also the inner part of the bezel there, which is like a plastic. It just contrasts really well. So you've got the nice blingy element, and then you've got the resin parts, the case and the strap just there. I think the actual dial background, which is an LCD negative display, contrasts so well with the handset, which you can see just here. I think it just looks great on the wrist, and also it is easy to read as well, that LCD digital display, as much as it is easy to read the two hands. So you got both worlds there. If you are into your sort of analog watches but you like to have the functions of a digital watch, then I would recommend this watch. I think it is a great watch and a very good looking watch to boot. Now, the LCD digital display can be obscured at certain times depending on the time of day where the hands are resting on the watch, and that might be a gripe for some people, but for me, it just didn't bother me in the least. And it is a great looking watch at night as well, because you can use the electroluminescent backlight display to just illuminate that time, and you just have no problems reading it in darkness or semi-darkness as well. So it's a really useful watch to get on with. In terms of features, it's got 100 meters of water resistance. It's got the usual auto calendar as well, because when you set the date, it also sets the day of the week for you. And also, but with it being quartz powered, it is an accurate watch to wear on the wrist. It's got 12 and 24 hour formats if you like to read the time in military time in the USA, or in 24 hours around the rest of the world. And also, what I will say, it's got daylight saving time. So if you want to just quickly set the daylight saving time on the LCD part of the watch, it's no problem at all. Now, the one thing I am coming on to in terms of the actual feature of this watch, which may be a bit of an issue to some people, is these hands don't synchronize with the LCD time, as it were, what you set on the LCD display. You've got to do that yourself. So there's a thing called hand setting mode, where you set the hands manually, and then obviously you can adjust the digital display separately to that. Now, it doesn't synchronize at all. It's something that you've got to kind of guess or marry up yourself, and that might be a bit of a gripe for some people. But when you do what would be the going back an hour or going forward an hour, depending on which part of the year you're in, it can be a bit of a chore. But overall, I mean, it's only twice a year that happens, but it is just a little bit of a faffing around to try and get the analog part to marry up with the LCD digital display. So I just thought I'd mention that. Now, with that kind of function mentioned, I might as well talk about some of the other functions on this watch, and it's got quite a few. It's got world time, in which it will go up to 27 cities and 29 time zones. It's got a countdown timer that will count down from 60 minutes, and that includes the fact that you can turn on what's known as auto repeat. So whatever you set it up for, it can keep repeating until you stop it. It's got a progress beeper that will start beeping from 30 seconds, and then it'll start beeping again from 10 seconds. So get you an idea of when you're going to reach your countdown. It's got a stopwatch built in, which allows count up to an elapsed time of 60 minutes, which is phenomenal. It's It's also got split time that you can just record, as well as first and second finish times. And on top of that, you can set up to 5 independent daily alarms, of which I believe is a snooze function, and also it's got an hourly signal. And last of all, obviously, as I've mentioned, it's got that hand setting mode where you can set the analog hand separately to the digital display. So it's got a lot built into its just small form factor. It really is a fully functional watch and a very versatile watch overall. So why don't I just talk about what it's been like overall. Over the last 30 days, I've got to say, I really have enjoyed this watch. It's been no problem at all to get on with. Okay, it's got the odd gripe where the hands do tend to get in the way the odd time, but that's just a real minute part of this watch. Generally, it's been a fantastic watch to wear, and if you can get hold of them, I would. Now obviously you can't, I've never really seen it new. I tend to see this used in terms of eBay purchases, but if you can get hold of one, I'm going to be honest with you, I think you'll really enjoy it. It's got a unique look about it where it's got a nice LCD digital display background. The hands really do contrast well, and also you've got a nice metal element to the case going on there, or the outer part of the case, and it is comfortable on the wrist. It really is a real enjoyable watch to wear. So for me, it gets a massive thumbs up. And over the 30 days, I know I say it's a bit cliche for me to say, I really am going to miss wearing this watch. It's been phenomenal, and I mean, it's been a phenomenal watch to wear. So that's my experience with this watch over the 30 days. The next one's going to be a watch I've recently reviewed, which is the Casio AQ-160W digital watch. I'm going to really enjoy wearing that watch, but this one, it's been phenomenal, and it's got such a unique look about it. Now, just to finalize this video, I've got a comment from a user that I'm just going to answer just in this video. Now, the comment is from a chap called Andy, no last name, which is interesting, 3174, and I believe he's bought this watch based on my review, which is, and I hope he's actually enjoying it. He asks, also, what are your thoughts on an digital watch like this compared to one that has a smaller digital display? Do you like the bigger display? Any other thoughts? Appreciate it. As always, obviously bigger is going to be better. If you've got like a small LCD digital display, then it's going to be harder to read, especially a negative one. And I'm comparing it, say for example, if you look at a Casio G-Shock GA2100 series, and I've got the 2110, and it's got a black negative display, and it does fit in well with the actual overall aesthetic of the watch. And the other advantage of the Casio G-Shock, if you are looking at a smaller negative display in terms of analog digital, the hands do sweep out the way. So if you are changing the time or an alarm or anything and the hands obscure that display, it will move out the way. It is a really nice little feature of that watch. But for ease of use, then obviously something like this is going to be a bit better. But the only thing I will say, that the hands are always present, they won't move out the way, and they, at certain times of the day, they will obscure what's behind it, really, only to a small amount, because obviously they're not the biggest of hands, but you will get around it and you will decipher what you are doing, because it is pretty easy to use. And I've got to say that LCD digital display in most lights is very easy to read, to be fair. But in answer to your question, I would say the bigger is always better. But don't discount something like that G-Shock I've just mentioned, because it does compensate for that. It's just that if you've got like deteriorating eyesight like myself, it is a bit of a thing where you've got to kind of put it up close to your face to be able to read the display. So that's my thoughts on that. That's really the answer to the question. Go for something like this if you want a nice big display, and also a bit cheaper as well, around the £20–30 used if you can get a really good example. But if you want to just push the boat out a bit more and you don't mind that analog digital display, I would suggest something like that G-Shock, because it does compensate for it with a hand sweep movement. It's just, with it being a smaller display, a little bit harder to read. So I hope I've answered your question where I'd go for this over a smaller analog digital display. And Andy, I hope you enjoy your watch as well, because it is a great watch to own and to wear on the wrist over a long period of time. So I hope this video has helped everyone in some small way, and if it has, then please click on the like button. Always helps the channel. If you want to see more videos from the We Try Anything channel, then please click on the subscription button below. And thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.